So now I'm going to record Daf Samach Ches, part 2. So far we learned that Rav Shmuel held that even a child that was captured by Goyim, or somebody who converted, but grew up amongst Goyim and never knew Shabbos existed, also has to bring one chatas, but one chatas for all the Shabbosais or all the malachos that he may have done. Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Shimon Melokish Damri Tarvayu, Rabbi Yochanan and Shlokish both say, no, Davke Hikir il B'Sav Shochach, only somebody who knew that Shabbos existed, but then he forgot, brings a chatas. Avol Tinek Shenishba Bein Anochrim, the Ger Shenizgar Bein Anochrim, but a child who was captured amongst Goyim, or somebody who converted and grew up amongst Goyim, Potter is absolved from bringing a chatas because he's an Einis. Why should he bring a chatas? He never knew there Shabbos even existed. Meisvei, the Gemara responds with the kasha against Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish. Klal Amru, Klal Godel Amru b'Shabbos. There was a rule, an important rule said regarding Shabbos. Kol ha'shechech ikar Shabbos, somebody who knew Shabbos existed, but then he forgot that Shabbos even exists. V'asa malachos harbe b'Shabbos is harbe, and he does multiple malachos over many Shabboses. Ein a chayiv alachas, is only chayiv one. Why? Because there was one lapse of memory that was mechayiv him. So Keitzad, the Brisa says, Tinik shenishba lebein anochrim, v'ger shenizgar bein anochrim, a child who was captured amongst Goyim, or somebody converted amongst Goyim, Bosa Malochis harbe b'Shabbos is harbe, and a chayv al chatas achas. It's chayv one chatas, v'chayv al adam achas. No matter how many times he eats dam, it's one chatas because he never knew dam was aser. Or v'ala chaylev achas, and no matter how many times he ate chaylev, it's one chatas because he never knew chaylev was aser. And even al avodah zara achas, even for avodah zara is chayv only one chatas because he never knew it existed. So this Tanakama holds exactly what Rav Shmuel held, that you're chayv a chatas in the case of a tinik shenishba and a ger shenisgayer bein anochrim. Umunbas paiter. And Munbas says that somebody that never knew that Shabbos existed is totally poter. The kach hoya Munbas don lifnei Rabbi Akiva. And Munbas was arguing with Rabbi Akiva. He says as follows: Hoyle mezid kori chayte. Since a mezid is called a sinner, because by Shavuos Ha'edus, somebody swearing he doesn't know testimony, which he swears intentionally, b'mezid, it's called nefesh kitechta. A shaygig is also kari chayte. As somebody who's a shaygig, also the Torah uses the word chayte, nefesh kisechta b'shgaga. So Munva says, so shaygig is like mezid. Ma, just like mezid means shahaisa lo yediyah. Mezid is somebody who knows that you're not allowed to do it. Af shaygig, also a shaygig has to be shahaisa lo yediyah. It has to be that he once knew. But somebody who never knew is not considered a shaygig. So the kasha is from Munvaz in any way against Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish. Because Munvaz says if you never knew, then I'm sorry. The kasha is from the Tanakama against Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish. Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish said that a tinik shenishba bein anochrim and a ger shenizgar bein anochrim is poter, and the Tanakama says he's chayiv. Munbaz says that he's poter. Omalei Rabbi Kiva. So Rabbi Kiva says to Munbaz, are you telling me that a shaygig has to be like a mezid, that he had a yediyah b'tchila? Then hareini moisif al dvarecha. Then let me exaggerate your words, and I'll say, ima mezid sha'isa yediyah b'shas masa. If a mezid is somebody who now knows you're not supposed to do it, so then af shaygig sha'isa yediyah b'shas masa. So maybe a shaygig also means somebody who knows right now that you're not supposed to do it. And guess what? Amar Loisa Munva says, hey, yes. V'kol shekain shehosafta. You've added to my words, and a shaygig is somebody who knows now that you're not supposed to do it. Amar Loisa Rabbi Kiva said, but l'dvarecha ein ze kari shaygig el amazid. That's not a shaygig, but a mazid. So we're going to have to iron that out in a minute, how Rabbi Kiva challenged Munvaz that if you're going to compare a shaygig to a mazid, then a shaygig should be somebody who knows now that you're not supposed to do it, the way a mezid knows now you're not supposed to do it. And Munva says, yes, I agree with that. So that has to be straightened out. But Ketani Mia, but Lamasa, we see in this Brisa, Keitzad Tinek, that you see that a child who was captured as a child, or a goy that was Megayer and he lived amongst goyim is chai v'chatas. So Bishlam the Rav Shmuel Nicha. So Rav Shmuel said that. Rav Shmuel said that the tinik shenishba and a gershon is gar ben anochrim brings a chatas. El Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Shimon Lakish kasha. But according to Rabbi Yochanan Lakish, who said that a tinik shenishba and a gershon is gar ben anochrim is potter because he's an einus, but here the Tanakama says that he's chayiv. Amri lach Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish. Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish said loy mi ikamunvas the potter anand amrina kamunvas. We agree with munvas that if a child never knew, or if a Gentile never knew that Shabbos existed, he would be poter legamri. And the only time you're chayiv is only if there was previous knowledge. So we have a machlokes again between Rav Shmuel versus Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish. Rav Shmuel holds the tinik shenishbas chayiv chatas. Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish holds poter. And the Tanakama held like Rav Shmuel that a tinik shenishbas chayiv chatas, and Munbaz held like Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish that a tinik shenishba is poter. My time of the Munbaz, where's Munbaz coming from? That to say shaygig is like mezid. It's written, there's one law for whoever does bishgaga, and that's talking about a chatas shal avodah zarah. The samach it says next to it with a vav v'hanefesh hashetasa biyad rama. So Munbaz says hikish. We compare shaygig lemezid. We compare the first pasuk of bishgaga to the next pasuk, which is biyad rama b'mezid. Ma mezid shaisa le'yediyah, av shaygig shaisa le'yediyah. A shaygig and a mezid are both if you know that you're not supposed to do it. V'Rabbanan, but according to the Rabbanan, Hai Torah Achas my Avdilei. What do the Rabbanan do with the pasuk that sounds like we're comparing shaygig to mezid? Miboyalei, they use it for a different halacha. Makrilei Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi lebrei. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi taught his son. The pasuk says, as we said before, Torah Achas yilacham lo'isa b'shgaga. There's one law for a shaygig. And what does it say? V'chisishgu v'leisasu es kol ha-mitzvah sa'ela. And if you're a shaygig and you don't do any of Hashem's commandments, you're going to be chayiv v'chatas. And the parsha is talking about avodah zarah. Uksiv, and it's written v'nefesh hashetasa biyad rama. If somebody worships avodah zarah b'meizev v'nichras is chayiv koros. So why does it say Torah achas yilacham lo'isa b'shgaga? To teach you a new halacha. Hukshu kulam l'avodah zarah. If you want to know a rule, when do you ever bring a korban chatas? The model, the model is avodah zarah. Malahal and dover shechayavin al zdaina koresh shegase chatas. Avodah zarah is a case which it's a loisa say. If you do it b'mezid, it's koresh, and the Torah there says it's a chatas. Avkol dover shechayavin al zdaina koresh val shegase chatas. So you only have to bring a chatas on an aveira, which b'mezid would be koresh, and the meshayik gets chatas. And that's why it says Torah achas yilacham loisa b'shgaga v'nefesh hashetasa biyad rama. That there's one law for all the oisa shgagos, and it's similar to the case of avodah zarah b'mezid. Avodah zarah b'mezid is koris and shaygig is a chatas. So all the cases chalif, chametz, dam, any cases that b'mezid are koris, a loisa say sheyesh b'koris b'shaygig is a chatas. But not to compare shaygig to mezid to say that they both come with a yediyah. Now the Gemara asks the kasha that we've been wondering about. Elamunvas shkaga b'mai. How does Munbaz call it a shaygig if the man knows you're not supposed to do it? Munbaz has a big chiddush. Munbaz's opinion is if a man knows that this act right now is prohibited, but what he doesn't know is that if he does it, b'shaygig is going to be chayv a korban. There's a certain detail in this halacha that he doesn't know. He doesn't know that this act has within it a korban chatas. For that you bring a korban chatas. The Rabbanan hold shigas korban l'shmosh gaga. Not knowing that there's a korban in this parasha doesn't make you a shaygig. So now they agree to disagree. According to the Rabbanan, a shaygig is somebody who doesn't know that the aveira, that this is now an aveira, but he once knew it was an aveira, but then he forgot, and therefore that's called a shaygig. And according to Munbaz, even if he knows now that it's an aveira, but he doesn't know it carries a korban, that's also called a shaygig. But in any case, there's now another machlokes between the Rabbanan and Munbaz. According to the Rabbanan, somebody who never knew that this was aser is also called a shaygig and also brings a chatas. And according to Munbaz, it's only somebody who at one point knew that it was aser. Okay. So the other question that's bothering, I think, everyone who learns the sugya is how could Rav Shmuel or how could the Rabbanan hold that somebody who was a tinik shenishba, he was a child who was captured as an infant, or somebody who grew up amongst goyim, how can he be held responsible to bring a korban chatas? Isn't it really an einus? So the Chassam Sofer has an interesting idea. he says that even though you can't blame the person and there's no guilt if he never knew that Shabbos existed, but this chatos is not a chatos to atone for a crime. It's a chatos to remove the effect of a sin. But this is an old philosophical issue, whether sin is only if you did a crime, or is sin a fact, and even if it's not your fault, but it's still a sin, and still could use something to lechaper. We've talked many times, lechaper means to wipe away. So sometimes you wipe away the effect of something that was done wrong, even though you're not to blame. So therefore, Rav Shmuel and the Tanna Kama hold, even a tinik shenishba, even a ger shenisgar bein anochrim, brings the korban chatas. Not that I blame him; he's absolutely blameless because he had no idea. But he brings a chatas in order to wipe away the effect of the sin. We've talked about that many times. Let's say if somebody drinks the milk of a non-Jewish woman, right, because the child is in danger and needs to take it, or taking something which is like a treifa, but you need to take it. So does it have an effect or it doesn't have an effect? And there are different views. One view is that sin is only a sin if it's something you're not allowed to do. But if you're allowed to do it or have no idea that you're not allowed to do it, then you're blameless and there can be no sin. And another view is that a sin is still a sin and therefore it should need something to erase it, even though you're not going to be blamed. The halacha is that if somebody's a machal Shabbos b'farhesia, he has a din like an Oived Avodah Zarah. A Machal Shabbos b'farhesia has a din of an Oived Avodah Zarah. So even though Rav Shmuel held that somebody was a tinik shenishba has to bring a chatas, but if this tinik shenishba was doing Chilul Shabbos b'farhesia, he can't be considered a mummer. He can't be considered an Oived Avodah Zarah. The Rambam writes that even though the Karoim and the Tzedaikim originally were mumrim, but their descendants are no longer mumrim, because their descendants are merely doing what their fathers told them to do. And therefore they're not rebelling against Yahadus, they have no idea that they are Yehudim, and therefore they would be considered a Tinik Shenishba. And the Chazon Ish writes that children that grow up in non-observant homes also are considered a Tinik Shenishba. There is a Ritvaz that holds that if we have criticized them or told them that you should know there's a Shabbos and there's a Bayra Olam and so on and so forth, they would be considered a Mummer. But the Chazon Ish disagreed. The Chazon Ish said that these children are merely doing what they learned from their fathers and cannot be considered Mumrim, and therefore they're not considered Avdei Avodah Zarah. It would be interesting, therefore, that a non-frum Yid who is Mechal Shabbos b'farhesia, but he grew up in a non-frum family, would not be considered like an Oved Avodah Zarah Mummer. So what would that be, Legabi him touching wine and so on and so forth? I also remember that the Chazon Ish said you can't say Yimach Shemai, Chas v'Shulam, on a Yid, even though he's a non-Shomer Torah mitzvahs, or Mechal Shabbos b'farhesia. Because if that man would die leaving a wife and without any children, there would be a mitzvah of Chalitza. And if how can you say Yimach Shemai when the Torah says V'lo Yimach Shemai b'Yisrael? So the Chazon Ish held that all people today that are not Shomer Torah mitzvahs, unless they were once Shomer Torah mitzvahs and turned away from it, are not considered Mummer. They're considered Tanoik Shenishba. And then we have a Machlokes in the Gemara as a Tinik Shenishba. Would they ever have to bring a Korban Chatas because of the effect of sin, or they wouldn't even have to bring a Korban Chatas because they're not guilty for their sin because they never knew better? Okay. Kol Tiv, so far so good. Everybody should be healthy and stay healthy, and should see each other soon. Freilich and Lag Baimer. Toirosai Mogen Lanu, Zchusa Yogin Badeinu. And this machla should end, and we should not know from it and not know from its effects.